to put this on recording so anyone else can also have it. And log into your Appian community.
Yeah. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, I have seen this issue before. Log into your Appian community first.
Mm.
Go to your profile section. Click on the access environment.
One moment.
Okay. Okay. You log in, then you share your screen. Okay, if you want. That's fine. Okay, you just answer these questions before you know. Mhm. Go back. What was that question? Okay, fine. Have you answered all of them? You missed some questions because I see there were some questions which was unanswered.
I think I answered everything.
Okay.
Do you want me to do from starting?
Let's see. Go next. Yeah. Yeah. Click on that. Build your first. You can close this. Go to the Appian Designer. No, not here. Yeah, access your environment again now. No, no, no. Go. You saw that, right? Access your environment page. Yeah, on the right hand side. Access
Oh,
environment. Yeah. Why it's taking you to US? Have you selected US region before?
no. From starting onwards, it is giving me this. I used to select region.
Yeah, it is coming for all, Ravi.
By default, they are taking you to US region.
Yeah, and then we have to click on go to your region.
Okay. Yeah, click on that.
Okay.
Bookmark this page. No, see, these are the. Can you just go one by one again? Let me see. It should not be like that. Just answer this again.
Don't
Can
click on
can you click on designer?
No, Appian Designer on left screen.
Okay, go back to the there.
Oh,
Yeah. Can you go there below? Open your application. Can you create a new record? Maybe. Okay. Right. Okay. So their agreement, if you don't sign, right? I mean, all the uncertain agreements, then they don't allow you to do that from the
So
scratch.
I need to follow these steps every time.
No, I don't think so. Just bookmark this page now. Just bookmark this thing, okay? And then you don't have to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Cool. Does anyone has any questions before we start? All right. Was there any tasks, guys? Others, you guys have done that? Whatever we have done so far, created the record.
yes. Yes, Ravi.
Any questions around that?
Nothing.
Okay. Great. All right, then let me quickly share my screen. Okay, you guys can see it. So what we discussed the other day, we created one record. We saw that how do we create the record from the scratch. I hope I have started the recording. Yeah. So how do we create a record from the scratch? We created a table and then we added the customer details there. And we saw that we can also access this record by clicking on that link for now. But yeah, we can always have some other places to do that, because right now this is under the designer, right? And this access will only have with the developers, right? And the system admin users. Other will not be able to have this access, right? So end user cannot use take this action on this one. So how, initially it was we when we are using tempo, then we used to go with the tempo page and do all those things. But now, as we said, that we can use a record directly within a site. So why not we create a site for now, and then if you want to add new customers, you can directly do it from there. Before that, let's say we created a one actions only, right? We, if you see, remember, we created only for create a customer, right? Well, I'm not sure that I have started the recording or not. Let me quickly check. Oh, yeah, it's running. Okay, so now you see that, right? When we created the dialog box as a new access, I just selected only one, the new customer. So it created under the new customer. But has anyone noticed that there are two options basically? One says record list actions, one says the related actions. Can anyone tell me what's the difference between these two?
Uh, that list action is the main action, and the related action is related to the main action, like updating and deleting. We can add in related action.
Right. So whenever we are creating a new record, right, it means we are taking a record action. However, if you want to make some changes on a particular record, that means it is we are going to do a particular related action on a particular record, right? So that goes under the related actions. So basically, this get confused whenever they might ask me the question, what's the difference between record actions and related actions, right? Or they may ask you the questions like, can we create a new customer under the related action? Just to confuse you, right? So you can say, no, we can create a new customer, but not under the related action, but under the record list actions. Okay. So let's say we're gonna with the Appian approach, and then now I'll just unselect this one, and then I'll go with the update and delete. I'll just click on generate button. taking time because creating the objects for us. Let's complete. Right. Now you see that the delete and the update are gonna work on a particular object, right? Particular record. So that comes under the related action. And then create comes under the record action. Okay. Now we've done that. So
Ravi,
what
are
we
you
have?
sharing your screen?
Yeah, I am.
I'm unable to see.
How about others?
It is visible to me.
Can you just okay? Let me just do stop share and reshare. Maybe that could help. Can you see it now?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can.
Okay. So I mean, what I did is just click on this generate record action, and then I select uncheck this create, and then let it be there, and then click on the generate button. So what it did, it created the objects for us, and then configured the actions here. So we see the delete customer and update customer, right? Okay. And then have we created this view? We did create a view, right? For displaying whenever you click on this, we should be able to see the some page, right? So we created the view as well. Now, when we go here, right? You see, when I go here and open this summary page, under this summary page, if we go to the related actions, now we are able to see these two more actions, delete and update. If I want to configure those actions directly on my summary page, we can do that by going here, click on the edit icon of your summary page, and then you will see that some shortcuts are available. Select both of them. And how do you want to open your actions? If you want to open a dialog box or the new tab or same tab, that configuration you can do it here. Then hit on OK. And then save the changes. Now, once we do that and go to your record now and refresh the page. Now you see that you don't have to go to the related action tab and see all this. You cannot do it directly from here. If you click on the update customer, let's say I'm going to change this middle name to Hey, and I would like to. So mobile number we have added later, right? So you see the now that in the update one, it is asking us to provide a mobile number. So let's say I'm going to put mobile number, right? And I hit save, right? It get updated. Now this summary page we designed when the mobile number field wasn't there. Now what we can do, we can also go and edit the summary page code, and then we can add this mobile number field. If I go to the record, mobile number is being added here. Very quick, no code, and then we just configure everything. Any question, guys, so far? So now you guys tell me, if I want to update my summary page, how do I do that? Which code was there? How do I know? Let's say you don't know the code, which code was there to update the summary page. And this is why what my requirement is that I need to see the mobile number field on my summary page whenever I click on the record. So how do you identify which object has to modify?
The MA customer summary, that interface I will
Okay,
go.
so now you knew this, right? Because we created, then you see that name by name, you identify that. But let's say you don't know the name and you need to identify this object, and then you have to update this object. So how do you do that? Because in larger picture, if you go to your actual company, there might be, you have thousands of objects, and there could be multiple of summary name of the summary, which has a summary word. How do you identify that what
I'll
object you have to modify?
I'll open record type again, and I will look for the summary view. View under view section, I will go to the summary page.
Right.
There I will be
So
able to see.
right. So this is one of the options that you go and you open. For that also, you need to know which record you have to open, right? Right now we have only one, so we know this. But in that case, you need to know which record has to be open, and then you will go to the some view link, Under the view link, you will see there's an option for summary, and then here you can find that interface object. Now, if I want to open this interface object from directly here, how do I do that?
Control plus
Yeah, press
that.
Control on your keyboard. This will be highlighted. Just click on it. Okay. So now I can see this link open. I go to the expression mode, and then let's say I want to have below date of birth, or maybe yeah, let's have it below is active, because here 3 is here also there is 3, and then here we'll put a 3, or maybe before the is active. So this is the third column, right? So we can have, this is the first column, second column, third column, and where I want to put, I want to put inside the third here, and here we have email, right? Now what we need to do, we need to put is active. Just a second. Okay, we have created 3 different columns layout. So now we have one column layout for this, one column layout for this second row, and one column layout for the third row. Don't worry, we will definitely talk about all this design. Okay, so this third column layout we have nothing, so what I'll do, I'll just copy the code. I'll just copy this code here, and then we'll paste it here. Now we'll change this to mobile, and then here in the field, if you backspace, it will start giving you the option, just map it with the mobile number. Now see the changes. So we have updated this object. Now if you go and open this one, click on this page, now we are able to see the mobile number added here. Okay, any questions so far? Apart from this UI design code and all, you will definitely create from the scratch, but any question, how do you identify? Yeah, all right. Okay, so now I don't want to, because as a basic user, I will not have the designer access, so I cannot come and open the record and click on that link to open this. So let's go and create a site. So I'm going to create a new site. I'll give the name as Mediclaim application, maybe. You can give the display name as Mediclaim process or app. Raise your maybe over uh, Mediclaim process. Okay, let's say create. Okay, these are the security we need to provide. So I add the security. Now, this is my blank page of site, how it's gonna look like. Now you see this, given the name. Now this web address that has been generated for you, this is for going to be your web address for your site. So now the end users needs to access this link to access your site. Okay, now few more things. We have pages. You can add the pages here, and then the navigation bar. So initially we had only this one by default, the top, but now Appian has also given you the sidebar. So if you want, you can change your view from top to side. So what, let's say if I go with the sidebar, this page will become like this. Okay, now you can also configure your background colors, your highlighted color, whatever, and then if you want, you can change your logo here. This logo that you are seeing, it right, Appian. You can create your own logo and you can, upload it here as a document, and then you can see that. We will do that, okay? And then we can also see the alternative text and all, and then how you want to see the buttons, all those things you can configure here. Okay, now let's say I'm going to add a page. So inside you can configure four types of pages basically. One is the action, interface, record list, and then report. Right now we have record list, right? I'll go and select the record list. I can change the icon. I can have something called customers. So let's have one with this. Right, I'll give the name as customer. Customers. Okay. Now content. What record you, because we have selected as a type as a record list. So then what object you want to select here? So I'll go with my record. I select this record. Okay. Now I hit the add button. So now you see that the record that we have did not get added here. Save the changes. Now as an Appian basic user, either you can go with this URL or you can also use a navigation icon. So let's say you have a access of your Appian as a basic user. You click on this navigation menu and you should be able to get this action here. So refresh the page for now. If I go here, Mediclaim app. So once I click on this, the same thing that we were getting on my record page by opening from there to tempo page, now I'm getting on my site. So, and whatever actions we were able to create it there, we can do it here. So let's say I'm going to create a new customer. Okay, create. See, as soon as I create, I can see the data. And if you want to go and update, everything is available here. Right now, the end users, if they want, they can also start working on your application. And that is the beauty of your agile methodology, right? Agile methodology, what does it say? It doesn't say that you build your whole application all together and then you give it to the business users. It should be like that. A user can start working even sprint wise. Right? A small release helps customer to grow faster. So they can still be moving even though your application is not created. Right? Any questions so far, guys? And you guys tell me, did we written any single line of code here? I mean, anything apart from the adding the mobile number changes? It was like more than, I mean, less than half an hour work of getting all those things, right?
Yeah.
Yes, no questions. So why I go, did this one, because I wanted to show you that how capable Appian is in terms of creating this application and then, giving you all those options, right? Now what we will do, whatever we are going to create, we are going to create from the scratch, all the interface thing and everything. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now we have a site for the users. They can go and they can, do all those things. All right. Cool. So what's our next step then? We need to raise a claim process, right? Okay. I think I haven't shown you guys the capability of this Appian, I believe, right? Let me quickly give you a walkthrough of that. So what extra things comes with this record? Let's say I want to have a search. This search is throughout your application. Let's say I want to go with the search for T, it can filter on your middle name as well. If I go and search with the email address, let's say I'm gonna with the Gmail address gmail.com, I'm getting both of them, right? So it's a general search to your whole record. Now, is it like you cannot create the based on your mobile number or maybe based on your thing? You can do that. You can have, but Appian record only allows you to do drop down filters. Apart from that, you can have your custom filters as well, but that will not be part of your Appian record. So whenever you want to configure your record as an interface, whatever the feature you wanted to bring it with this, I mean, out of box feature with this record, that you can configure in an interface directly. If you have any custom filter, you can have it, but that will be look like you have added it. It can't be like sync with this record. So you can add this drop down here. What extra comes with this record? Initially, we had to put a lot of coding to download this sheet. Now you just simply click on this one, download it. Whatever record you have, it's being downloaded now. Let me share my screen for this sheet. So whatever record we see on the page, it will be get downloaded very quickly. Again. See that the record that we had, it get downloaded. Initially, we had to write a lot of code to just to put my data to my Excel sheet, but now it's with record, it's very quick and without any coding. Okay, what else comes with this record? With this record, you can also have the filters option. Now let's say, for an example, I always need to work. Imagine this is a location, right? India, Africa, maybe the country name. So I always have to work with this particular filter, Mohan. For an example, and whenever I logs in, I will have to come here and then I have to apply this filter. So Appian gives you this feature that you can save your filter and set it as a default and hit on the save button. So what happens whenever you come and log in, the default filter will always be there for you. So whenever you log in, you will be able to see your filter has been applied already. If you want to remove, you can just click on this. Once you click it again, it will again the filter will be applied. So it happens, right? Maybe someone has to only work with the India region. So what they do is that they apply the filter as India and then save it. So what happens whenever they log in, they will be able to see the India filter. Right? Any questions so far? I'm still borrowing it. Right? All right. And then we have a refresh. If sometimes maybe record is taking some time, you can just click on the refresh icon. So all these features comes with the record without writing a single line of code. Okay. Okay. So what's our next step? We need to design an UI where we will have to capture the details of the maybe claim process. So we need some documentation. We need some details. We need to upload some document to the system, the dates, right? So has anyone think about that? What could be the fields? And how do we start with? Okay, so let's have a competition. Who can remain silent for long? And I'm also participating. Okay.
We can click on new and we can create a new application. Sorry, new interface from there.
Right. We can come to the interface, but we need to decide, right? What are the fields we're gonna have it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
anything is possible because if you create the fields first, I mean, interface first, then you again we have to go and command it. Okay, before going there, okay, let me do one thing. I think some of us not known the Appian thing. Let me create some dummy interface so we can know the how the save things works there and what's the local variable basically. All right, yeah, that's important. Okay, how do we capture the values in this one? Let me open my sandbox. So all the dummy things I created here. Okay, I'm going to create a new interface and then we will see how the local variable works. Um, has anyone, is there like who doesn't know what the local variable is? Guys, please speak up. Or everyone is aware of these local variables?
I'm aware of this local available variable.
How about others? Rashi, Saksham, Swapnil, Bharat, Shyam, Vaishnavi. Is it like you guys on the recording so you have logged in and then you left? I don't know. How do I know that you guys know this?
Yeah, yeah, I know.
All right, I am.
We used to capture data in an interface and also to display the data.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me do that. So, see, in Appian, to capture the details or to store the value and all right, we need a local variable. So, how do we declare a local variable? Let me give you some example on this expression rule, and then we will see some example on the interface. How do we capture that? I know it might be some boring for some other folks, but yeah, please bear with me. Um, Local variable examples. All right. So to declare a variable in Appian, we need a function called local variable. This is a function is used to declare the variable. Initially, we had load and width, now which has been replaced with only one local variable. Okay. Now, do we need to define a type? Let's say I'm going to say local a bang, local bang. So we call this a bang. Okay. And to declare a variable, we need this function and then we need this prefix. Let's say I'm going to say local bang name, right? And to initialize the value in Appian, we use colons. Okay. And then we say Shyam. Right. So if I want to return this name, I just need to give a return statement here as a like exam. If I click on this text tool, it's telling me that it's a text, but I have not declared anywhere that this is a text. Okay. Same way, if I go and say local bank age and assign some value, let's say 30 to 8. And if I want to return that, I say local age. Now it will be get converted to the integer now. So Appian, we for a local variables, we will not have to define the type of it. But if you want to declare a variable of a particular custom type, then you need to tell it. Okay, this is gonna be a custom type. So we can use the type operator. If you are not providing that type operator, still you will be able to capture that value. It won't be give you the proper type. It say that's mapping. Now, if I want to combine this, let's say I want to say Shyam's age is 30. How do I do that? I can have local bank name space is ampersand local bank age. So what is the use of ampersand now?
It joins keywords and non-keywords.
Right. It's a concatenation. It concatenates the two things that you will provide it here. What is the other way of doing that? Don't we have any function? Yes, let's comment this one and I'll say concat. This concat functions also do the same thing. What I want to concat? I want to concat local bank name, comma, is colon space, comma, local bank age. Same output. So either you go with the concat function or you can go with the ampersand, whatever you are is with. Okay.
Yes.
Now, is it like we can only capture the single values, text, integer, boolean? No, we can also create a list. Right. Let's say I'm going to say local bank employee, and then I'm going to have like curly braces. I can say name Mohan, age 30. Okay. And I want to return this just to see the value. I need to return this. I'll say local bank employee. Test the rule. It's giving you a dictionary. So we can also design a dictionary in the local variables. Can I make this dictionary as multiple? Yes, we can do that. Let's take this one, Control X. I'll put one more curly braces. Now like this. So it's array of array, comma, hit enter. Now say about Rohan here. If I click on test tool, I'll get two set of dictionaries. Okay. We will not have to consider any type. It's gonna give you like this. The key value pair. Right?
Um, How we can access 111? Like if I want
How?
to access Mohan only.
Right. Good question. But yeah, we'll come to that. How do we access that? Any doubts so far? Okay. Why we say that this local variable we need to declare within this one?
Sorry, Ravi.
Mhm.
Uh, we have assigned a bank local variables on the top, right? So how
Right.
it is different from the local bank name and the
So this function is required to declare a variable, and this is required as a prefix.
so this is the parent one, like which is having all the local variables.
This, if you click inside this, all the variables are part of this within this parenthesis.
Okay.
Right? All right. Now let's say within this local variable, I'm going to have one more local variable function, and I'm going to say local bank salary, and then I send some value, let's say 25,000. Okay, and say local bank salary. Okay, if I click on test rule, I'm getting this value. Now let's say I have done this thing. Local salary is declared, right? I have declared this local salary there. I want a text. Let me return this. Okay, I'm not gonna returning here. I want to say like this. Local bank name, sorry, ampersand salary is ampersand local bank. I'm not getting this local salary. Why?
It should be inside of that bracket. Second local variable.
Right. What does it mean then? the variables that you will declare within this parenthesis, it will be used within that only. It means that it's a local to that function. You cannot access outside, right? So this salary is being declared here within this parenthesis. So it cannot be accessed outside. If you want to access it outside, you need to assign it to someone, right? So now let's say this local variable is going to return your local bank salary here. Now, why then this other function variables are available within this one?
Because
All
of
the
top of the A bank.
right, right. So what we need to do, I'm gonna say local bank get salary. This local variable, whatever the output of this is gonna be, I'm assigning to this another local variable. Now if I go here and say get salary, now I'm able to access it. If I go and test the rule, I got this value. Is that clear? If you want to access certain things out of the scope, you need to assign it somewhere, right? Then only you will be able to access it. Any confusion so here so far?
So like on line number 40, local bank get salary, what it is called, like it's a variable we are storing.
So this local variable, right? If you just execute this part, what it's gonna give it to you?
Like it will return local salary, right?
Local salary. And what's the local salary value we have?
25.
25,000. And
Mm.
this is going to assign to get salary.
Okay, we are fetching it like in Java. We
Right.
are,
So
okay.
we are initializing it, right? You see this colon is used to initialize the value. So we have initialized with this thing. Right? Now let's say if I put into 12, what will be the output?
Like,
It will calculate
like,
it and then it will give it to you. Right? So you can use this as a function, do certain things, whatever calculation you wanted, do all those calculation and then return it to your final variable, and then you can use that final variable as or something else. Right? Maybe imagine this value was in your database and you bring it this value and then you calculated it and then you multiply by 12 to get the annual salary and then you print it here. Right?
So Ravi, on the top, you haven't written like a local salary, right? Why you only written for salary? You haven't written for name or age.
Here it's a direct value, no? For name we have assigning this colon is there, right? So we are initializing with the Syam. For age we are initializing with the 30. But here for salary, I am calling another local variable, doing certain calculation there, and then whatever the value we are returning it here, right? So we return this value. We need to return this value. If I remove this line, then it will throw the error.
So if we keep this local salary on the above, then we don't need to return the salary.
Then why do we need? If we put directly, let's say, if I copy this code and put it here, then we don't need this, no? Then we can have this direct salary we can access, no? Isn't it?
Okay.
Just wanted to show you how do we access and what's the scope of the variable. I did all these things, okay?
Okay.
Is it clear, guys, now? So local variable, you have to be use very smartly where it is required, and always try to avoid to have lot of local variables and lot of queries on the database, on the interface level or anywhere, right? So use these variables very smartly and then see what's the scope of it. Always try to create some sub rules to have it. That's a local variable for you. Okay. Now there was a question that how do we access if I want to access Mohan out of it. For that we have certain functions to access it. Okay, if I tell you what is the age of Mohan, by looking itself, you can tell me 30 straight away, right? But imagine imagine we have thousands of record here. Then what you need to do? You need to iterate each record and to find where the name is, and then you have to return the age, right? Let's see for that in another example. So now I'm going to have a local variable, local bank employees. Copy, paste, 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 paste. Okay. So now we have this list. Imagine, okay, local employees. We have to return something because every expression rule works as a function, so we have to return something. So now I have this 6 items. I want to age of some particular one. How do I know that? Okay. To get all those things in Appian, we have a function called index. Okay. Index functions works in 2 ways. It has 3 parameters: the data, what index, and what's the default value you want to pass. What's the data for me? For me, the data is local bank employees. Index, what index you want. Let's say I will ask you, what is the age of Rohan, where the Rohan is residing. And in Appian, remember one thing, that the index starts from 1, not from the 0.
2.
There is only one place in Appian where the index starts from 0, that I'll tell you, that you know when it will be there. But all the other places, the index always start from 1. So now Rohan, where the
2.
Rohan is residing?
2. Second.
2. So I'll pass 2 here. Then default, if doesn't match, then return null. So if I click on test tool, what is going to be output?
Rowan 31.
It's going to give me a dictionary of index 2. So I got this output. Now if I want the age, what I can do? I can say dot age. Right?
Right.
This is not a good idea, but yeah, still, just for quickly. Now, the index function also works in a different way. Is it like you can only pass only one index here? Let's say what happens if I pass 1 comma 2, and in anything you want to pass as a multiple, you need to put in the curly braces. If I do like this, what is the output gonna be? I will receive both of them. Okay. So index can also be passed as a multiple. All right. Now, the other way of index, how it works. So we have index function. We need a data. In place of index, we can also use the parameter name. I want name. Can anyone tell me what could be the output?
All names will be written.
All the names that we have going to return here. Okay. Very important function. You will be using a lot these functions. So make sure you understand this. Okay. So we got all the names. But when I ask this question, what is the age of Rohan? What you will do? Let's say this is the question I ask. I'm asking, what is the age of Rohan?
Um,
Tell me the code to write it.
Index of local bank employees, comma,
Index of local bank employees, comma,
Name,
two,
name,
name.
It should be two.
two,
Okay, two.
and default null.
Okay, it's
Dot
gonna return to
age.
you.
After the dot age.
Yeah. Now,
Comma
how
dot.
do you know that we need to use two here?
Because Rohan is in second place.
Hmm. Okay. Now imagine there are millions of records.
I guess if statement we have to use like if.
So this is hard coded for now, right? So what we need to find, we need to find this thing based on your input. We need to find this thing. For that, we have a function in Appian called where contains. Okay, where contains required two parameters: the value that you want to search for, and then where you want to search for. Now, value that I want to search is what? Rohan, right? And where I want to search?
Um,
Local bank
Index of
employees.
local employees. Index local employee.
Index of
Local employee.
local employee, comma,
Name.
right, name. Well, so what's the output is going to be written? We got an error because Rohan is a kind of a text. Okay, and then this is returning you the list. It could be anything. That's why it says that cannot work on that because it's a text and any type. So what we can do in Appian, we have a function called toUniformString. Just wrap it with the toUniformString this one, and for separate side use toUniformString the output of this one as well. Now if I go and click on test rule, I will get 2. Now you guys tell me, how do I get the age of?
I mean, we have to wrap this up in index again. Whole where content.
Or maybe you can also have a local variable, right? Local match index,
You can store it in this.
right? We can do like this. So what happened? This, the value of this is going to be captured within this variable,
Yes.
right? Now if I want to know the age of Rohan, how do I do that? Index of
Index of local bank.
local bank, right? And then
Local bank match index.
local bank match index,
Null.
yeah, null or maybe blank array, whatever you want to put it. Now if I go, I got the whole list. Now I'm not hard coding it, I am calculating it, right? If I change here to Raj, I will get the Raj details,
For example,
right?
multiple names like Rohan. So how do you find?
So what will happen? Let's say I have multiple Rohan, then
Either it will show both or
it will give you the both because index functions can work with the both. And this where contains is gonna return to you 1 and 6.
but yeah, we want only the top one. And do we
Then
need
you
to
need to apply one more filter, right? Maybe there could be location wise. We can't have two same record, right? There's a possibility that Rohan, there are two names with the same age, but something will be different, right? So you can filter based on that. But according to your code, according to your value, what you are trying to find is Rohan's details, and you pass the Rohan, and you have duplicate. It gives you the duplicate. Right? Code has to understand now which one you want. How do you identify which one you want? Might be based on some other values, some other fields, right?
Yeah.
Now, as I said, I want the age. I want the age. So what? How do we do that? I don't want to use dot age. This is my result. I want the age. How do I get it? It's question is based on what we have seen so far, not out of it.
I mean, again, we can use index because
Okay,
it's
where I need to use the index?
mm, on this whole index. We can store it again. Like we are getting now the dictionary as Rohan and
Okay.
page.
Yeah, we can store in a variable if you want. Yeah.
Yeah,
If
and
you
then
want, we can store.
um
Otherwise, let's say if you don't want to store, then what we can do? We can have an index function. This will become an input for this index function, the data,
yeah.
and then what I'll pass age, default value is null, right? Got it? So this is getting calculated, bringing some information, and top of it, I applied one more index and just wanted the age.
Yes.
Right? Cool. Any questions? This is very important functions, guys. This will be using a lot because we will be working with huge data, right? So yeah, this was very important. Anyone, any question? Is that clear? How do we work with the local variables? Index function, where contains?
Using dot operator is not ideal,
It's
right?
not recommendable because dot operator breaks if you don't have that property. Let's say somehow you got the null result, right? Blank results, and it has nothing. It doesn't have any parameter. It doesn't have any property, name, age, whatever, right? In that case, if you use dot age, the code will not understand. Hey, you want to dot age, but I have nothing. How do I know what's the dot age? If you have name as null, age as null, then that's fine because you have the parameters. But imagine
Yeah.
you have nothing, it's a blank. Then dot age will get confused. Huh?
Okay.
Why you want to dot age? I don't have this in my code. So it's not recommendable. If you are pretty sure that it's not going to have null value at any point of time, then you can use it, not an issue. But always make sure to check to apply the null check.
Sure.
Right? Questions? All right. Okay. So as a task, uh, think about it. What are the fields we are going to have on a claim process? Maybe someone can come up with the UI design, on paper itself. I'm not saying in the Appian, but on paper at least. How could the UI could be look like, or maybe what are the fields we need to capture, like what is your do you have a claim already or not? Do you have do you have you bought the claim or not? Because if you are going to apply it, you must have some claim already bought it, right? If you don't have the claim card, then how do you do that? So we can go with the buying a new claim, right? That process also, or we can go with the claiming process. So think about it. If you are going to with the claim process, then we should have some claim already in the database. If you gonna with the buying a new claim process, then we can have according, UI according to that. So think about it. What other fields could be there? Create all those fields in maybe in a record, because now you know how to create a record. So if you can create as a record, which is good. If you want to go with the Excel sheet and show the columns, that is also fine. But put some effort. Whoever has not created the customer records yet, go and create a customer record, and then, if possible, create the record. So are you going to buy a new claim first? Okay. So think about it, and then we can connect tomorrow, and then we will start designing the UI. Before that, we also we have some more functions. What I'll do, I'll just walk you through those functions as well, which is important in, and we will be using in the coding. So yeah, we'll go through that. Okay. Any question before we wrap up?
Is there any roadmap for this course? Like, what will be teaching by tomorrow? Can I?
See,
Yeah,
I don't prefer going with the roadmap, because what happens then, we will be binding ourselves to, today I need to learn this and do that, and learn that. I wanted to be make it dynamic, so that we can understand what time, what object we need to create, because in actual development you don't go with the roadmap, you go
yeah,
with the requirement, right?
yes, yes.
Now I thought, because in interface designing we will be using in local variables, that's why I go with the local variables today, so that tomorrow when I use local variables, you guys should not get confused how it's working.
Sure. Okay.
So please, tomorrow come with some record, creating with your buying a new claim. Okay. And it's a request, free to ask questions. Only 3 people are interacting, others are remaining silent. So I request you guys to ask questions. Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow then. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Ravi.
Thank you.